So things are still getting so shockingly bad for Cracker Barrel, where they just uploaded yesterday on their X page this crazy thing that showed, and it shows just how far the company has fallen. Now, Cracker Barrel built its entire reputation on being a place where people could count on tradition, comfort, and consistency. You see, Cracker Barrel actually then threw that away when corporate leadership decided to go ahead and just rip out the very things that customers loved. And now Cracker Barrel is simply just scrambling to fix the mess, acting like, they understand what went wrong all of a sudden. The reality is that Cracker Barrel nearly burned its own brand to the ground, and customers aren't quick to forget it. Okay, so yeah, like I said, the first thing they did was just literally pull down the signs and bring back the rocking chairs and stuff in this video here on their X page. Customers laughed at it because it was obvious how desperate it looked. Now, Cracker Barrel simply spent, well, not simply, but they actually spent $700 million undoing its own modernization stunt. Then that's panic mode right there. You see, people are asking if the stuff they ripped off the walls will get sold online as, collector's items. But imagine that vintage woke Cracker Barrel merchandise from the brief 2-week experiment, apparently, where corporate elites try to erase the very identity of the restaurant itself. You see, some customers are actually sarcastically calling it a detransition, and that's definitely funny though. And honestly, that's what it looks like. They leaned into a cultural change that no one asked for, and now they're simply just running back to the old look and feel like a kid begging forgiveness. But the biggest problem hasn't gone away. You see, the CEO who simply just drove this mess is still sitting in her chair. That's the issue. The same leadership that burned through the trust and cash is still in power. Now, without real accountability, Cracker Barrel is just rearranging deck chairs on a sinking ship, basically. So yeah, the investor fight makes this even messier. You see, the major shareholder who also owns Steak and Shake has been pushing to oust the CEO for years, and suddenly, well, he looks vindicated. You see, he said leadership was running Cracker Barrel into the ground, and that the proof is sitting right in front of us. You see, they actually gambled the company's future on a soulless remodel no one asked for or wanted, burned through $700 million of value, and now their stockholders and customers alike are still furious. Now, when competitors like Steak and Shake can say, we told you so, that's when you know it's bad, especially for Cracker Barrel, okay? But yeah, some fans online of Cracker Barrel speculated maybe it was just a marketing stunt, spend $700 million just to grab attention and then heroically walk it back. But that theory simply collapses when you look at the numbers, where Cracker Barrel and their total value hovers around $1.6 billion. Burning half your worth for headlines is not marketing at all. That right there is just simply insanity. And this wasn't a strategy at all. It was just arrogance from the top. And now the fallout itself is being brushed under the rug simply with more PR spin about bringing back the biscuits. But those biscuits became a lightning rod, and customers discovered they weren't even made fresh anymore. You see, they were baked, frozen, and reheated, which is just simply insulting and stuff when Cracker Barrel literally built its name on fresh handmade biscuits. Okay, so yeah, people just compared it to buying a frozen TV dinner, and it wasn't a clear symbol of the cheapening of the brand under this leadership. And now, in their fake apology tour, Cracker Barrel is simply trying to win back the trust by bragging, "Our biscuits are rolled by hand and baked fresh throughout the day." That doesn't sound like a victory right there. That's just returning to square one after betraying the particular customer base. Okay. Now, the food complaints piled up alongside the decor meltdown, microwave meals, frozen shortcuts, and sloppy service simply just became the new Cracker Barrel reputation. And honestly, when customers realized the CEO looked more like someone who would just shop at Hobby Lobby than just actually eat at a Cracker Barrel, well, the disconnect simply couldn't be ignored. It's not about identity politics. It's about, the fact that leadership clearly didn't understand or respect the culture of the business that they were running. Okay. So, simply put, when you hire people to go ahead and homogenize what makes you unique, you end up in the exact hole that Cracker Barrel is in right now. Okay. So, the marketing push to win people back just prove how desperate things got. You see, regulars actually reported getting, spammed with coupons and stuff and offers every single day that the backlash exploded. Now, normally you'd get like one email a month, or maybe, suddenly Cracker Barrel just was in your box simply just begging for another chance. You see, they threw out free this and free that, like a kid promising to change after getting caught lying, basically. Now, you don't flood customers with coupons simply if your business is fine. You can do that when the ship is taking on water and the lifeboats are full, okay? And the nostalgia mess play hasn't fixed everything. You see, for instance, the famous peg game at Cracker Barrel, the Cracker Barrel simply just outsourced the manufacturer, and that supplier had went out of business, as I've reported before. And now, even as they're scrambling to put the old vibe back, those little games and stuff that sat on every table at Cracker Barrel are gone. Customers notice, and that matters because, well, when you strip away all the, the unique details, the signs, the chairs, the biscuits, the peg game, you're not Cracker Barrel anymore. Okay, you just simply just another chain trying to mimic Applebee's while just pretending that it's heritage. Now, stockholders may see the share price inch back up, but it's fragile. You see, confidence is broken at this point. And you know what? If this is remembered as one of the most expensive rebrands and reversals in restaurant history, okay? So it will go down, alongside, New Coke and McDonald's Arch and Deluxe is prime examples of not understanding your audience. Now, the New Coke brand thought it was smart to go ahead and fix something that people already, loved. And McDonald's thought, as you all can remember, they thought it could change its identity for adults. Both were massive failures. Now, Cracker Barrel is now the latest member at $51 per share of that club, the new Coke. So the insult is that none of this needed to happen. It was preventable and avoidable. Customers weren't asking for a modern Cracker Barrel at all. They weren't asking for frozen biscuits or even sanitized walls. All they wanted was the same authentic experience of Cracker Barrel that they remembered from childhood road trips. But instead, corporate elite simply played games with tradition and acted shocked when it blew up in their faces. And now those same executives at Cracker Barrel are trying to spin walking it back as if they deserve credit for listening to feedback. No, this isn't listening. This is just survival at this point. It's pure cope. Now, the CEO remains the centerpiece of the outrage still, and customers don't trust her at all. Shareholders don't trust her in either, and yet she's still in place. Other companies have just canned leadership for far less damage and stuff. And meanwhile, Cracker Barrel is trying to patch things with, rocking chairs and biscuits while just simply leaving the architect of this disaster untouched. That right there is just simply put cowardice from the boardroom. Okay, so even if the food improves and stuff, I mean, and the decor comes back. Well, let's be real here. The brand itself has been damaged and is going to linger. Cracker Barrel used to stand for consistency, comfort, and family tradition. But right now, I mean, it just stands for corporate stupidity and tone deaf decisions. Now, you can't buy back trust with rocking chairs at all. You can't fix loyalty with coupons, and you can only prove you've changed through long-term actions. And right now, all we've seen is just window dressing. But other than that, I mean, the sad part is that competitors will eat Cracker Barrel alive during this stumble. You see, you got Perkins, Steak and Shake, even smaller mom and pop diners. You see, they're watching and waiting to go ahead and scoop up disillusioned customers. And customers are noticing the difference and stuff between Cracker Barrel and them. Now, when Perkins can brag about fresh biscuits, Cracker Barrel has lost the very edge that kept people coming back. Okay, so that's how brand loyalty dies. Death by a thousand cuts of corporate neglect. Okay, so yeah, if Cracker Barrel wants to survive, I mean, it's just going to take more than just bringing back the rocking chairs. It's going to take, new leadership, authentic respect for tradition, and actual commitment to quality. So, yeah, until then, customers will always wonder, and is this just another stunt from Cracker Barrel, or does Cracker Barrel actually care about what made it great in the first place? Because, well, guess what? Right now, the only thing that Cracker Barrel has proven is how quickly a beloved brand can destroy itself when run by people who don't get it. So let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. Be sure to smash the like button, share the video far wide across social media, subscribe to the channel, turn on the bell for future uploads, notifications, and I'll see you on the next one. Until then, peace.